Do you ever open your mouth and someone talks over you? That moment hurts more than we'd like to admit. We often think that public speaking is about performance, about confidence, about charisma, and about being loud. But here's what I've learned as a public speaking coach. Speaking is not about performing, or that's not the only thing. It's about thinking first. And when people listen to you, when they acknowledge what you're saying, you stop feeling small, inadequate, invisible. And that's what quiet confidence really is. I'm not a CEO. I don't run a Fortune 500 company. And I don't teach people how to dominate the room. I just work with normal people, thoughtful people, often soft-spoken people. And what I've seen again and again is this. Learning how to speak clearly sharpens the way you think. And learning how to think clearly changes how people treat you. Let me show you how through 3 simple skills. The first one, the anticipation skill. This focuses thinking ahead. So let's start with something simple. Imagine someone is working in sales. To do their job well, they need to do 2 things. They need to understand their client, and they need to know their product so well that they can anticipate all kinds of questions their future clients may have. And public speaking works the same way, a little bit. So when you prepare to speak, even at a meeting, a discussion, or a casual conversation, you train your mind to think ahead. So first, you start by asking yourself, what might people not understand? What questions could come up? And what matters here the most? This does something very important. It reduces anxiety. Because, you see, fear often comes from not knowing what's going to happen next. So when you anticipate, your mind feels safer, more grounded, more in control. So quiet confidence starts even before you start speaking. So when your mind goes blank, it's not always because you're not very good at public speaking. It's often because your thoughts arrived at about the same time you're ready to speak. And public speaking teaches you how to organize your thoughts before you're ready to speak. Skill number 2, the editing skill. This focuses on conciseness. Now let's talk about something that affects soft-spoken people. You may have noticed this in the past. You start explaining something, and before you finish, someone interrupts you. Not because they're rude. Well, sometimes it is, but not always. But because they think they know exactly where you're going. And here's the harsh truth. Quiet people often lose the floor because they often take too much time to express their thoughts. So quiet confidence does not mean saying more. It means saying less, but better. Public speaking forces you to edit your thoughts before they leave your mouth. You learn to ask yourself, what is my main point? What is essential? And what can I remove? Now that's a skill, and it's incredibly powerful. So when you speak concisely, people lean in, people wait, and people listen. Not because you're louder, but because your words are clearer. You don't need to justify every thought. You don't need to explain everything at once. Quiet confidence tells you that a few chosen words are enough. Skill number 3, the de-escalation skill. This skill focuses on clarity over conflict. Now, I know I've talked about clarity in the past. I've talked about it in many videos. However, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of being crystal clear when we talk to our partners, our parents, our children, our friends, our co-workers, to everybody in life. Let's pause and look at how conflicts can begin. They often start because our thoughts are unclear. I know, for one, when I think something, it's clear in my head, I think the other person will understand automatically. But very often, the person will look at me and will go, or he or she will get mad at me for saying something. And I go, what did I say? I thought I was clear enough. Emotions can rush when we're missing our words. When we are angry, we often say things that we didn't plan on saying. Somehow we need to get them out. So you might say a harsh word, and the other person might feel really hurt or upset. And this can create a vicious circle that never ends. Problems can stay unsolved for years to come. And in some cases, relationships can break. I remember many years ago, I had a conflict with a friend. She sent me an email, and instead of replying to her right away, I waited a full week to give her a reply. I thought clearly, I took my time to answer, and had finally sent her the mail. I asked her 1 week later, when I met her, I asked her, "Did you receive my mail?" And she goes, "Yes, and you hurt my feelings so much." And I was like, what is the matter here? But then when I reread my letter, I realized that I had told her where she was wrong and where I was right and what she did wrong. And so, of course, she took it the wrong way. I was not being clear. I was just trying to relieve my anger and my frustration on her. I didn't think things through. See how important it is to be clear before we speak. If we can do that, we can avoid a lot of conflicts. But let's see how we can fix that and how being clear can really help the other person understand our point of view. So instead of saying, "You never listen to me," with that tone of voice, things are not going to go very well. You can just say, "I feel dismissed when I can't finish what I'm trying to say." You're not pointing the finger at someone, but you are pointing out something that is very important. The fact that you haven't been able to say and complete your thought. That lets the other person know that they should have listened to you until the end. And the next time, they'll be more careful. Being able to do that is power. It's not loud power. It's not aggressive power. It's calm power. And here's something very important. Convincing is not about winning. It's about being understood. Even if the other person doesn't fully agree with you, at least they heard you, they listened to you, and that's what counts. So when people listen to you, they acknowledge your words, and you no longer feel the need to raise your voice in order to be heard, for your voice to be validated. And that's when anger fades. If you know people are listening, if you know people truly hear you, you stop feeling inadequate. And that changes everything. Let me be clear. This video is not about becoming successful in business. I don't teach that. I don't know how to do that. But it is about communicating with power, no matter where you are in life. At work, at home, in friendships, in everyday situations. Public speaking isn't about stages and spotlights. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's about life. And public speaking is also a thinking tool, a clarity tool, and a self-respect tool. So let me leave you with this. When you think clearly, you speak clearly. And when you speak clearly, the world slows down and listens. Quiet confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you practice, one clear thought at a time. If this resonates with you, tell me in the comments below. In which situation do you struggle the most to articulate your thoughts? And you'll see that you're not alone, but your voice deserves to be heard. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.